to my blog.stampwithelaine.com. Today is Fun Friday and it hails the 8th episode of my Glimmer Fest series. 10 projects during the month of March featuring the 6x6 inch 15.2 by 15.2 Glimmer paper assortment pack from Celebration's second release products, which you can earn for free with a £45 purchase excluding shipping and handling through my online store here in the UK. Only 7 more days of Celebration, and if you have your eye on any of the freebies in this year's offering, don't delay to avoid disappointment. Today I'm going to have a look at the mini egg cartons. They come in a box like this, and with Easter coming up, you can see I've used quite a few already. They come in a box with 8 of these in, and this is how they look in the original format, naked, undressed. With a bit of dressing, this is what it will look like. I've made a Happy Mother's Day box, and I've put some bath bombs in here. Aren't they adorable? I used the Circle of Spring stamp set because I wanted the Happy Mother's Day sentiment from it, and this coordinates with the wonderful wreath framelit dies, and it's these 2 dies I want. Originally those dies were made to go with the Wondrous Wreath Christmas stamp set on page 32 of the annual catalogue. I just love the fact that Stampin' Up always has the customer's interests at heart, and they've produced another stamp set called the Circle of Spring, which we are using today to get more mileage out of your investment. And it's still available. You can buy them separately. It's no longer available as a bundle if you bought it with the Wondrous Wreath stamp set, because it's carryover from the Christmas before last. You need some very vanilla cardstock for stamping the wreath and the sentiment. To make the belly band to go around the box, the 12 by 12 inch papers aren't quite long enough, so you're going to have to join it. So I've cut an A4 length by 1 3/4 inch width, so that's 11 3/4 by 1 3/4. That's 4.4 centimeters by 29.9 centimeters. And then you need another additional strip cut at 1 3/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. That's 4.4 centimeters by 5.7 centimeters. I've used the Falling in Love Designer Series paper stack. These are 12 by 12 inch sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. I've cut a strip of this pattern at 1.5 inches by 12 inches. That's 3.8 by 30.5 centimeters, so that it will attach to your sugar plum piece. Sweet sugar plum ink, a mini egg carton, a spritzer filled with rubbing alcohol. This is called isopropyl. It's highly inflammatory, so don't use it near a naked flame, and always use it in a well-ventilated room or outside, weather permitting. I fill the spritzer almost full, then add about 7 drops of re-inker. And if you want a more intense colour, then you can add a few more drops of the re-inker. Glimmer paper from Celebration. I'm using mint macaron and the sweet sugar plum. I've mounted my stamps on a block E, and this is a block A. Punches I'm using are the 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/4 and 1 3/4 inch circle punches, the Bitty butterfly punch, the Big Shot magnetic platform, and the cutting plates. I've protected my work surface with a waterproof mat. You can see I've got 2 boxes here. The one on the left is done with isopropyl alcohol, and this one has been sponged. I'll bring this up closer to the camera so you can see the difference. The isopropyl has a much more even coverage, and the sponging, it took quite a long time, and I didn't feel that it was quite as even. You can use ordinary tap water and then use the 7 drops of ink just as you would for the rubbing alcohol, or more if you want a deeper colour. But I found that working with water, it gets very wet and it takes a long time to dry. So I think I'd prefer to work with the rubbing alcohol. And don't forget, if you do work with the rubbing alcohol and you've got a lot to do, then do work in a well ventilated room, or do it outdoors. And don't work near a naked flame. We don't want to set you on fire, do we? When you're spraying it, make sure the nozzle is pointing away from you. And you see just by a few squirts how quickly that's covered. I won't do any more indoors because I'm already inhaling the fumes in my craft studio. So I'll stop there, but you get the general gist. You can see the difference though. This is the inside has been sprayed with rubbing alcohol, and this is the outside, the sponged bit. So let's work on our belly band. Just going to run fast fuse designer series paper, try not to get it on the mat, and then attach it to the sweet sugar plum piece. Join the ends together. Put my belly band wrong side face up. Place the egg carton on top and wrap it round. Fast fuse on this end and fast fuse on the opposite end. And then secure it. And you won't see the join because you cover it up with your other work. Bring in my foam pad because I'm stamping with photopolymer. We're going to stamp the wreath. Now the photopolymer stamp has this funny tab on the top. So as long as you're mindful of where this tab is, I've put it facing north so it's easier for me to remember. When I come to cutting the wreath, you'll see on these die cuts that there's also a tab pointing in one direction. So long as my tab is pointing north, my die is pointing north, both for the outer rim of the wreath and the inner rim of the wreath, I will be able to cut this with relative ease. Ink up my stamp. The tab is pointing north, so I'll stamp. And I'll also stamp my sentiment in sweet sugar plum alongside it. Bring in the magnetic platform, base cutting plate, cardstock, and my die pointing north. And this one too. See how easy that was? Top cutting plate, and I'll run that through the big shot off camera. There's my wreath cut. I want to punch out my sentiment with the 1-inch circle punch. Punch out a glimmer paper circle in mint macaron with the 1 3/8 inch circle punch. One with the 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and 2 butterflies with the bitty butterfly punch. a 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch a hole in the middle of that to make a little donut. And the reason for that is it makes it easier to adhere, because dimensionals and things like that don't stick very well to glimmer paper. I don't waste my bits. I put it in a little container and store all my extra bits of glimmer paper in here, so I can use it for other projects. So let's turn these the other way round, because I need to put glue adhesive on it. Which way up is it? So I'll put dimensionals on the top and bottom. Lastly, the butterflies, so just bend them a little bit so that they look as though they're in flight, and then attach it with a glue dot. Ta-da! All done. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you like it, do give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog here at blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thank you so much for visiting me today. I'll be back soon with episode 9. Thanks for watching. Bye.